Kudus is not the player in terms of the Premier League ready player that Mikel has kind of turned to in recent times, but we know right now we're in a season of trying to get rid of players. We've made our big signings for the season and we're trying to get rid of players. One player that cropped up this week that Arsenal could be interested in is another Ghanaian international, Mohammed Kudus.
Yeah.
Plays for Ajax as well. So obviously familiar with Jurriën Timber, who just arrived at the club. This guy, very talented player. By all accounts, seems to play anywhere from midfield forward and plays on the wing, can play centrally, has played up front for Ghana, has played up front for Ajax as well.
Ajax, yeah.
So a very interesting talent, of course, very young, I think 21, 22 years old, fits the versatility model that Arteta likes with Arsenal right now. Like I said, we're going to need to, ship out players if we're going to sign Mohammed Kudus or anybody else. Mohammed Kudus is probably going to cost us or anyone in the region of about 50 million, I would like to think. Do we need Mohammed Kudus though? Like, do we need him in our team?
Bro, you know what I'll say to that is you can't stop building. You can't, he might not be able to have a prominent role in the squad for the next maybe 1 or 2 seasons, which again, when you start thinking about development of a player and so on and so forth, do we need him now? Probably not, But again, do you just say, okay, well, good, we're not going to bring anyone else in? And then when maybe like Liverpool, who fell off a bit of a cliff was it that season that they scraped back 4th, and then there was obviously last season as well where they didn't get 4th now, and you could say, or some would say, lack of preparation or preparing to fail. Failing to prepare, sorry. And we can't have that. We need to know that when we've got some players just fall off the age cliff, or fall off, we've got other ones who are coming in, who are ready to go, who are going to refresh us and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know if we're in a position to have a player like Kudus and splashing certain amount of money on him. At this stage you'll be looking for the type of Martinelli buys, these gems who you can just get for, or even people like Marquinhos who you get for close to nothing. You can send on loan a couple times, and then when a space pops up, if they're ready, they can come in and do a job. If not, you ship them on for a bit more extra money. I think he's an excellent player from what I've seen. He's got that robustness and everything like that. But I don't know, this is the question I'm battling with. Will we have too much squad depth if we got a player like Kudus? If we sold someone, let's say, I don't even know who we say we could sell. Maybe, I don't know, because there's no one really in the 8. But for me personally, I think if we got someone like Kudus, someone like Smith Rowe has to go. Bro, because the squad depth, imagine we just bought him outright. Yeah. Bro, I'm of the belief, I look at teams like City and, teams of yesteryear, like Madrid, and where, the depth, the quality is bursting at the seams, but I just worry that I think we're just not there yet to be having so much quality on the bench, and we haven't been winning, because people might just be like, I want to get out of it, or we risk having an unhappy dressing room. But I don't know if I'm just overthinking it and just thinking, bring all the talent, let all the 50 million player guys sit on the bench as well, and know that, no one's comfortable.
But are we on the brink of just that? And that is why these players want to come. Because let's look at Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Apart from staying in London because of family reasons, he's chosen Arsenal over City.
Yeah.
One's guaranteed trophies. One is still pretty much a grind to get to that place and close the gap on City. He's chosen the grind. Because he can see something almost magical is happening within this team. And we've said we need these kind of players on our bench as options. We saw for large parts last season, Arteta doesn't trust who's coming off the bench.
Yeah.
He has maybe his 1 or 2 favorites out of 5 substitutions.
Yeah.
He's not really trusting a lot of these men for whatever reason. So we need the quality. Like all it takes is, you know, if we're looking in a season, let's say, you know, Saka's been largely good and present.
Mhm.
Let's be honest. An injury could come. Jesus got an injury last season.
Yeah.
Partey will be injured next season. That's a
Yeah.
bang on guarantee. You got to put money on it at the bookies. Like that will happen. You see what I mean?
Zinchenko,
exactly.
Yeah.
We've counted about 5 players already now that we know will more than likely miss some games, whether it's through rotation or injury. Like Mohammed Kudus coming in is like, I would be all right with that. Like unnamed value, because of course we don't know how he'll perform in the Premier League. But like someone like him being an option is just what we need. Now, you know, if we're talking about options on the right, of course we've got Reece Nelson. Pepe's to go. He's still on the books. He looks like he's going. I wish of giving him a chance. Don't look like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, same.
So, you know, Smith Rowe, we're saying Smith Rowe himself. Smith Rowe will be injured next season.
I hope not. But...
I hope not too, bro. But like, you know, there's death, taxes. These are things that are guaranteed in life. Like, see what I mean? Like, these man, we know what to expect. So it's like preparing for these situations before they come. And these are the things. With Saliba out, Partey form and injury being shaky back end of last season, these are things that lost us the Premier League title. So
I hear it, man.
Let's guard against it and maybe spend that money now. We've got players that, you know, if we can get a Pepe out, if we can get a Cedric out, who else are Xhaka's obviously already left.
Maybe like an El Neni. I don't see El Neni going anywhere.
I'm not gonna say El Neni. He'll go at the end of the season for free. But there's probably a few other players that can leave for not massive amounts, but like top up to maybe about 30, 35. You see what I mean? Just to help balance books somewhat. Like we need these good caliber player with Champions League experience. You know, going into this season, like it looks like it's between us possibly, if the rumors are true, and Chelsea, who I believe have expressed interest in Kudus. But
do you worry about going back to Ajax and taking another quality player in such a short amount of time? Do you think Ajax will be like, okay, big man, like one is enough?
I don't think so. I think especially because, you know, we played ball with Ajax over Timber. We went in with a bid. They said it was too low. We went in again. It was all secured, all wrapped up within the space of 3 weeks or so. Of course, they don't want to lose big players for them, but we have to think about it, how that translates to the Dutch league. That 45 million and maybe another 50 million. That's Arsenal giving these lot the best part of, 90 to 100 million for 2 players. They can go and reinvest that so well in the Dutch league and win the league next season. You see what I mean? Like them man are buying them players for, like, if they're not academy graduates, they're buying them man for like about 2 to 5 million. I don't even know how many 10 million pound players there are in the Dutch league like that.
Exactly. So
it's good money for them. Like we're not, they seem like common amounts for us. But that's good money for them lot over there.
It's weird with Ajax. It's like you said, because they, like within the league, I don't really see them buying from each other. Like they go out and they bring this talent, they train them up, and then they shot them. It's like more of a business, if anything, rather than and it's really between Ajax, Feyenoord, and PSV, and they just battle it out every season. And I mean, okay, I guess so. I guess we could go back in, and I think if the business with Timber went so well, we could be like, hey guys, it's us again. We're trying to see what are you telling us about Kudus. So I'm with you. I think having the squad depth and having players who seem to be robust, because it'd be a perfect world if we say, Smith Rowe is going to be available, Zinchenko, Partey, they're going to be there whenever we need them. But you can see with players like Rice, even with Havertz, their injury record is pretty much stellar, and it's just to make sure we have the quality, we have these players. Like, look at Reece Nelson. you know, got the new contract. Before you know it, I think he got like something wrong with his toe. He needed stitches. This is the US tour, you know? So it's just like, these things happen and we just need to have guys ready to go. So I think you've convinced me. Like I did worry just thinking that you're just going to have too many players that people are there's just not going to be enough useful minutes to go around, you know? But I mean, even Tini's another person who, you know, even though he didn't get injured last season, funnily enough, but that was because he started like 7 games.
He was being looked after.
Yeah, he's being looked after.
He was being managed, you know, as it should be managed.
Yeah.
So he wants to go. He wants to go and play more. Like when you say it like that, 7 starts, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing Mikel has to learn over this next season is the rotation, because you know, making use of his subs, his rotation, that is one thing that he has been pretty poor at since he came in. One can argue for him that there isn't good options to rotate or whatever.
Yeah,
so,
not yet.
But now we're getting to a place where exactly, and this is it. Like if we sign the likes of Kudus and have him on the bench as an option, you know, Vieira that needs to come good, a Smith Rowe that needs to come good. Like if these men actually come good from, albeit off the bench, maybe more time than not, then they will get their minutes. You see what I mean? Reece Nelson, as you have said before, had played himself into a position where he was Mikel's first option off the bench. A lot of the time when we needed that kind of attacking change last season. So look, Kudus is not the player in terms of the Premier League ready player that Mikel has kind of turned to in recent times, but very good young player, doing it on international level. He's a strong lad, playing, you know, number of positions as well. I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. Like he's not coming in, like you said, to kind of shake up the first 11 from the jump from the minute he gets here. It's to take his time, come from off the bench, probably be that first choice after if Saka was to come off or if Saka gets injured. That's probably Kudus, you know, playing on the right hand side, I could imagine a lot of time. Let's be honest, we know how this stuff works. We've played Football Manager. Bring him in while Partey's here. Let Partey help, you know, settle his Ghanaian brother in the team, or the inevitable happens and Partey is, you know, shipped off or whatever that's gonna be, maybe next season or so. But I think Mohammed Kudus is a good player. He should come in if we can.
I mean, I think, you know, now that we kind of, I think, even if it's not Kudus, but I do think, you know, another player, definitely with that versatility, like we spoke about, play across the front three, maybe even in an attacking midfield role, would be good. And I saw this graphic, and it showed, I even should have just saved it, but it basically had the amount of starts for the centre backs for Arsenal and Man City. And you had Gabriel playing 38, Saliba was on like 20, like maybe 30 or something like that in terms of starts. I think Prem starts anyway. And then you had Holding, Tierney, Kivior with like all less than 10 starts, and then like a handful of sub finishes. Then you look at City, all of them, Diaz, even Walker, who I thought didn't play a lot last season because Pep was rubbing him out and playing Rico Lewis, Laporte, all them guys, all 22, 23 starts. Between 24 and 22, all of them. All similar amount of minutes, only that obviously you just have to take into account the sub appearances. But in terms of starts, they were all the same, more or less, within 1 or 2 games. And that's what I think we need, we're working towards and what we need. So we're sharing the minutes. So everyone's happy, you know, because the quality's there, you know, everyone's playing a good amount of minutes. No one's thinking someone's playing more than me. And when you're winning, it don't really matter half the time as well. So yeah. Let's bring in more guys. Let's bring in more guys, man.